They say if you stand in front of a mirror in the dark and say her name 3 times, she come. Tonight, we're gonna play the mirror game. This is the real story of Bloody Mary. The room is lit by only a few candles. Their flames dance and flicker across my face. For the last few seconds, I haven't heard a peep from anyone. And now it's my turn to speak. But what should I say? Well, that's easy. It's time for the scary stories. Tonight, we're gonna play the mirror game. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here to tell you another scary tale. In our last episode, we played a game with lights out and somehow made that one of the scariest stories ever told. So, since I'm still shaking, I think we should switch things up this week. This is the mirror game. The rules are simple. You turn off all of the lights in the room and stand directly before a mirror. Then you have to wait until your eyes adjust to the darkness and you see nothing but blackness staring back at you. That's when you begin whispering her name. It has to be her name exactly. Mary, Mary, Bloody Mary. And you do this 3 times. You don't know how long you'll have to wait. It could be a minute or it could be hours. But once you say her name 3 times, you have to keep your eyes fixed on the mirror, and then she will appear. Sometimes you'll see her face behind you in the mirror. Other times she'll step in front of your reflection and slowly begin to take its place. Either way, she doesn't like being disturbed, and if you make a sound, if you scream, or if you even blink, she stop what she's doing and disappear. But if you can keep your eyes locked on hers, well, some say she'll reach out from the mirror and scratch up your face with her fingernails, leaving bloody claw marks in her wake. Others say she'll scream at you, a blood-curdling screech that echoes through the room as the glass behind her face begins to crack and spiderweb. And if she's really angry, she might just drag you right into the mirror with her. Some people say she's just a story, a campfire tale that parents tell their kids to scare them away from playing with mirrors in the dark. But others say that's not true. There really is a spirit in there and she's very real. And if you ask around, you'll find plenty of stories about those who dared to test the mirror game and lived to tell the tale. Like these 2 friends who went into the bathroom together and decided to call Bloody Mary one after the other, but they kept hearing a scratching sound coming from the mirror long after the 3rd whispered hello had faded away. Or these 3 teens who were just messing around and trying to freak each other out, but they didn't expect the mirror to actually start bleeding. One girl turned to run, tripping over her own feet in the process, while the other 2 stared in horror as blood dripped down the glass and onto the bathroom floor. Maybe that last one isn't too surprising since there's no shortage of haunted bathrooms, especially in old buildings where they used to store toxic waste. Or how about this one? 3 young men were having a sleepover. They were joking around when one of them suggested they play the mirror game. Only this time they said her name 5 times, and that was a big mistake because when Bloody Mary appeared, she wasn't happy. The bathroom mirror cracked and shattered, cutting one boy's hand badly enough that he needed stitches. And none of them ever went back to that bathroom again. But those aren't the only stories. We found quite a few similar accounts of the mirror game gone wrong. Kids seeing blood dripping down the glass, mirrors shattering into pieces, and people fainting dead away in the middle of the ritual, never to be the same again. But whose story is Bloody Mary? No one knows for sure, that there are a lot of theories floating around out there. One points to an old witch named Mary, who was accused of using black magic and summoning demons. When the local priest caught her practicing her dark rituals, she fought back with a spell that cursed him and his descendants forever. Some say it was her spirit that haunts the mirrors and seeks revenge against those who share her name. Now, that may or may not be true, but there's another legend that's been passed down through the generations. And it's said that Bloody Mary is the ghost of Queen Mary, the First of England. Otherwise known as Bloody Mary, her nickname came from the fact that she ordered the execution of more than 300 Protestants during her reign. But she also lost both of her children and spent her final years convinced that her enemies had cursed her bloodline so that no child of hers would survive past infancy. If that's true, maybe she became the Bloody Mary we know today because she wanted to scare other mothers into taking better care of their babies. Or maybe she just wants to punish anyone who shares her name for reminding her of her own mortality. Now, different cultures interpret her differently. In Japan, for example, Bloody Mary is known as Kuchisake Ana, which means woman with a slit mouth. And she appears in mirrors as a horribly disfigured woman with a mouth that stretches from ear to ear, asking those who see her, "Do you think I'm pretty?" If you say yes, she takes a knife and cuts your face so you can be just like her. But saying no won't save you either because she'll just reach out and cut your tongue off. And in Russia, the mirror demon is called Baba Yaga, and she is an ugly old crone who demands that you let her swap places with you. If you agree, she'll take your place in the mirror and haunt your family forever. And in France, the mirror demon is called Le Grésil, and he preys on people's deepest insecurities, turning their reflections into monsters and laughing as they scream in horror. But no matter what you call her, what culture you're from, what language you speak, or whether you believe she's a witch, a queen, or a demon, one thing remains constant. Once you see her, you need to get away fast. Some people say that she's not dangerous if you ignore her, but she stick around and follow you everywhere you go, watching you, waiting for you to look back. And if you do, she reach out and pull you right into the mirror. And the longer you stay inside, the harder it will be to escape. If you only see her once, you might be able to run away and lock the bathroom door behind you. But if she finds you again, she'll be waiting for you the next time you look in a mirror, the next time you walk into a bathroom, the next time you catch your own reflection staring back. And she'll always be there, grinning from ear to ear, waiting for you to say her name 3 times so she can come out and join you. But does she really exist? Well, as far as ghosts go, that's a tough one to answer. We know that her legend dates back hundreds of years, and we know that people swear they've seen her, heard her screaming, felt her touch, and smelled her rotting breath. But science can't explain why so many people claim to have seen her. So maybe she's just a figment of our collective imagination. There's something called mirror hallucinations, which happens when you stare directly at a mirror in the dark. Your brain refuses to see nothing, so it creates an image based on what it expects to see. That's why most people report seeing their own reflection, even though there's no light for it to bounce off of. And if you spend long enough staring into that darkness, it's easy to imagine that someone else has joined you. After all, the mirror doesn't lie, does it? Well, if it doesn't, then why have so many people told us that Bloody Mary is real? Why did those mirrors crack and shatter? Why did those boys see blood dripping down the glass? And why did those girls swear they felt her nails scratching their faces? Maybe it's all in our heads, but if it is, then why is the Bloody Mary legend repeated in almost every culture on Earth? Why is she the star of so many movies, TV shows, and internet creepypasta? And why do so many legends warn us away from looking in the mirror? If Bloody Mary doesn't exist, why do so many people fear her? And if she does, why do so many people feel compelled to summon her? So tonight, when you're alone, will you dare to say her name? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Also, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you believe in the mirror game? Have you ever tried it yourself? And do you know any other ghost stories we should tell? We'd love to hear from you. Bye.